Soon as y'all come in the building, smash that like button. Finally, we finally have an arrest made in Nolan Xavier Wells' whole crazy, mysterious death. This whole saga that's been going down, how the world's been turned upside down from this unjust situation that we're all watching unfold. That's the crazy thing. Like, everybody's on the internet now. So everybody has an opinion and everybody has the opportunity to be able to speak out when we see with our own eyes injustice things taking place. Once upon a time, we couldn't say nothing. We just had to just accept it. Now people can speak their minds, and now it's huge, it's loud, it's going crazy, and the Mississippi autopsy finally is complete. So now the autopsy is finally complete because of all this noise that we've been making during survival. So I'm gonna give, YouTube time if they're gonna allow y'all to come in. I don't know. The system be acting up, but we'll see if they let y'all in. Then I can update you guys because there has been an arrest made. Officially, somebody got arrested in the name of Nolan Xavier Wells. Someone was arrested in the name of Nolan Xavier Wells. And I'm trying to give it time for everyone to come in the building. As I told y'all, I gotta see. Look, they letting y'all come in slow as hell. Like, come on, system. Don't do this. Yeah, shout out to Sellers in the building. We have an arrest. We have an arrest made. Okay? I think we're getting somewhere. We got an arrest made and the autopsy is complete. And I'm going to let y'all hear and I'm going to fill y'all in on everything that's taking place right now. It's been a whole month, a whole wild month where everybody's speaking out and saying everything that they need to say, and things are happening and things are just going all over the place. Shout out to Safety First in the building. We are in support of you and your wife. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you too. Pure survival. Yes, 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 yes. So we have an arrest. Somebody was arrested. And the crazy thing about it is the person that got arrested is all the way in California, ladies and gentlemen. The man that was arrested is all the way in California during survival. The man made a threat. He made a threat, a Mexican guy. As soon as I saw the guy, I was like, he got arrested? I didn't know there was any Mexican people over there in Horn Island. I had no idea that there were Mexicans at Horn Island. But ladies and gentlemen, there was a Mexican guy who threatened the judge of one of Nolan Xavier Wells' friends. One of the boys that was on the boat with Nolan, Pure Survival, his mother, his stepmother, is a lawyer, and she got threatened. This Mexican dude said, I'm telling you now, if we don't get justice for Nolan Xavier Wells, we're going to show up to your job, and we're going to do some very bad things as soon as we see the first white lady we see. Like, this is crazy. So they locked somebody else up They locking all these other people up, but ain't lock up nobody that took Nolan's life. That's the crazy part.
Breaking news coming out of Mississippi. The case of Nolan Wells is getting its latest update and first arrest, as a man by the name of Joseph Alfredo Vasquez Dumars is now in custody after sending threats to Warren Hudson's stepmother and Judge Ashley Cole at the top of July.
Now y'all see this? This is Warren Hudson, Nolan Xavier Wells' friend during survival. The same boy with them long legs that look like Bryant Kohlberger. He's the friend that kept saying, Nolan's my best friend. I mean, I'm Nolan's best friend. He the one that went out with Uncle Tom to the Horn Island and then he have no emotions whatsoever. Pure survival. This is his stepmom, which is the judge, which I heard that they all turned off their social medias in the very beginning. You know what I'm saying? And this guy right here, this guy.
Arrest, as a man by the name of Joseph Alfredo Vasquez Dumars is now in custody after sending threats.
This is the first arrest made in Nolan Xavier Wells' case, guys. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all think that it's crazy that they locked somebody else up that's all the way in California, but didn't lock nobody up for the killing of Nolan Xavier Wells. We don't feel and believe that Nolan drowned during survival. Yes, what this man did was wrong. He shouldn't be threatening a judge during survival. He shouldn't be threatening anyone. You know what I'm saying? Because he wants to get justice for Nolan. But why can't y'all lock up who took Nolan's life? Why is it that you're only locking up people that wasn't even at Horn Island? Pure survival. This man wasn't even born in this country. Y'all locked somebody up that wasn't even born in this country, but the people that was with Nolan, you locked none of them up. Y'all got to get them likes up, guys. Everybody smash that like button. Double tap that screen. This is the first arrest in Nolan Xavier Wells' case. Now, we know that they are going around suing people for trying to get justice, speaking out, and now they are arresting people. But unfortunately, they're not arresting anyone who took Nolan's life.
Out of Mississippi. The case of Nolan Wells is getting its latest update and first arrest, as a man by the name of Joseph Alfredo Vasquez Dumars is now in custody after sending threats to Warren Hudson's stepmother and Judge Ashley Cole at the top of July. As you should know, Cole, whose stepson Warren Hudson is one of Nolan Wells' friends, whom he traveled by boat with to Mississippi's Horn Island before Wells would be found washed.
Now, this is the boy, Nolan's alleged friend. I call him the fake friend, pure survival, that looks identical to Bryant Kohlberger. He looks identical to Bryant Kohlberger. His stepmom received a threat, and she's the judge. And the FBI, I'm talking about the whole task force, went and took down motherfucker Jose ass. Took down the Mexican dude, Jose ass, for him and his family, but did not get justice for him and his family. Does that make any sense to y'all?
As you should know, Cole, whose stepson Warren Hudson is one of Nolan Wells' friends, whom he traveled by boat with to Mississippi's Horn Island before Wells would be found washed ashore 2 days later, would find herself under a large amount of ridicule after she would release a statement on her Facebook account. In her statement, she would mainly go on to defend her stepson against accusations that he may be behind Wells' passing. She would go on to write, "My husband and I were not at Horn Island at any point on 4th of July. No one in our family is trying in any way to impede with the investigation."
Now, this is her right here, Ashley Cole. This is the judge, pure survival. And I'm not going to lie, she kind of looks like a freak-off mermaid right here. She looks like she was at Diddy's freak-off dungeon. I'm not going to lie. Like, when you look at the judge in her judge uniform, she looked totally different in this picture right here. She looks like a OnlyFans, pure survival. But this is when she said she wasn't trying to invade in Nolan's, death. And now she's receiving threats and people are going to jail. Smash that like button.
She would go on to write, "My husband and I were not at Horn Island at any point on 4th of July. No one in our family is trying in any way to impede with the investigation by law enforcement or to otherwise hamper the family and law enforcement's quest for answers." Warren was interviewed by the Jackson County Sheriff's Department and cooperated fully. He saw Nolan last around 3 p.m. on July 4th. They left around 4:30 p.m. when the boat was taking on water and they had an issue with the bilge pump. Nolan made a decision to stay on the island and return inland later with another group of friends. "Yes, I am a judge. I also value transparency. Yes, I am a judge. I also value transparency. I apologize if anyone was offended that I deleted my social media. There were no nefarious motivations in my deleting my social media. Social media has a lot of positives, but a whole lot of negatives." Now, 3 days after the statement, Cole would return back to her Facebook to show followers and those interested that she and her family have received a wave of negative messages.
Now, these are the negative messages and threats that this judge said that she had received. Nolan Xavier Wells' friends, but your will be quick, I promise, especially from a boat. So much blood everywhere, hard to clean it up. These are messages that the judge was receiving before this man got arrested. Okay? So nobody went to jail for threatening Nolan Xavier Wells' parents. So nobody went to jail for Nolan's death, and nobody went to jail for threatening Ben Crump, me, Nolan Xavier Wells' parents, nothing. But everybody else is going to jail for picking on his friend's parents, which I don't think is right, but I think it's crazy that they didn't arrest nobody for Nolan.
Rats. A part of the post, she would go on to share several messages from an anonymous user, YayYay962, who would go on to comment with things like, "There's gonna be a bomb sent to your office. I'm gonna get you when you leave work." Followed by, "I got your email, your phone number, your address."
Wow, see, now that dude right there said that he was gonna put like a bomb at her job. He said he got an email with her address on it. A bunch of crazy stuff that it is good that he got his ass locked up. Pure survival. Because you shouldn't be making threats to people, and it's some psychopathic people all over the world. So I'm not, saying that he shouldn't have got locked up, because you shouldn't be doing that. But why aren't they arresting someone that took Nolan's life? Why are they arresting everybody else but them?
Received a wave of negative messages and threats. A part of the post, she would go on to share several messages from an anonymous user, YayYay962, who would go on to comment with things like, "There's gonna be a bomb sent to your office. I'm gonna get you when you leave work." Followed by, "I got your email, your phone number, your address. What's stopping?" The user would even go on to message her directly and continued, "There will be a package coming to your guy's office in the next few days. It's gonna blow you away when you see it. LOL."
Wow, see, now this is what the dude sent. He said, "There will be a package coming to your guy's office in the next few days. It's gonna blow you away when you see it." Laugh out loud. Now, this is the dumbest thing that you could actually send to somebody, because they have things, PP numbers or something like that, where they know where your address is. They know, the feds know where the computer is, wherever that you leave a message like this. This was the dumbest thing he could have done. But he talking about, it's gonna blow you away. Probably best to have the boys there to see it as well. Blood, so much blood everywhere, hard to clean, especially from a bowl, but yours will be quick, I promise. So this man left these crazy threatening messages, and the feds just locked him up today. This is the huge break in Nolan Xavier Wells' murder, in my opinion. But they didn't lock nobody else up but this guy.
Probably be best to have the boys there to see as well. Hard to clean, especially from a boat. Not even the FBI can stop this. Fast forward to today, it appears that the FBI would stop the user and would end up tracking down Joseph DeMars in Sacramento, California. According to the Sun Herald, Agents with the FBI Safe Streets Task Force identified Dumars, who used the username YayYay962, by tracing email IP addresses associated with the account.
And that's what it is, email IP address. So if you want to say something stupid and be making threats, this is what will happen to you. You will be going to jail and you will be sitting there looking completely stupid because you got an IP number. And to me, like I said, he definitely got what he deserved. But I feel like Nolan should be getting justice. Like they're going after everybody else, but trying to find out who took Nolan's life. You know what I'm saying? That's what bothers me.
Including moneybagiojo1916 at gmail.com, along with the date of birth, phone number, and street addresses linked to the account. Investigators said the information resulted in the identity of Dumars as user behind the Yeah962 account that sent the messages to Cole. Now, part of Dumars' indictment would read, on or about July 11, 2026, in Jackson County, in the Southern Division of the Southern District of Mississippi and elsewhere, the defendant Joseph Alfredo Vasquez Dumars did knowingly and willfully transmit in interstate and foreign commerce a communication containing a threat to injure the person of another, to wit, a direct message on Facebook threatening to kill Ashley Cole, all in violations of Title 18, United States Code, Section 875. Now, according to those same documents, Dumars now faces up to 5 years in prison.
So now this man is looking at 5 years in prison. Shout out to Comedy Hype News. This is the document right here for the Mexican guy who just got locked up in the death of Nolan Xavier Wells for making threats to one of his friends' mother, which is a judge. Everybody smash that like button, guys. Like, it's free to do. It does not cost you any money. You know what I mean? And the thing is, they just got the autopsy report. Mississippi just put out, well, they didn't put it out, but Mississippi just said the autopsy is complete, but they're still not turning it over. That just came out today. Shout out to Ben Crump and Don Lemon. Autopsy is done, but why ain't they trying to turn it over?
Journey along the way with the family, with Christine and with Elmore Wansley, Nolan Wells' parents. Ben, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Let's talk about the break. Hello to the family and to you, and thank you for being here. Let's talk about the breaking news. The autopsy from Mississippi is in. And so what does that mean? When do you find out? Have you heard anything from them?
Now, y'all about to hear this. Everybody in the building, smash that like button. The Mississippi autopsy report is in, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody has been arrested, and the Mississippi autopsy report that we've been waiting for is in, and it's complete. But watch what Ben Crump say, why they still aren't showing us.
That we made aware that the autopsy was complete, and because media started calling us, and I know the district attorney's office, they have reached out to the family, but we did not get a chance to talk to them before the news told us the autopsy was complete. We are scheduled to have a meeting with the district attorney's office next week.
Now, the autopsy report is complete. Why do Ben Crump and Nolan Wells' parents have to wait all the way till next week to hear about the autopsy? It's 1,100 people in the building, guys. Everybody smash that like button. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all think they're still trying to cover it up. Put a 2 in the chat if y'all don't think that they're trying to cover it up. I just told y'all, Ben Crump just told y'all, the autopsy report for Mississippi is complete. But they're telling them, no, you got to wait till next week. Why do we got to wait till next week for? If it's complete? That is crazy. That is crazy.
I know the district attorney's office, they have reached out to the family, but we did not get a chance to talk to them before the news told us the autopsy was complete. We are scheduled to have a meeting with the district attorney's office next week. Whether that means they're going to reveal the autopsy results is unknown to us, but we're certainly going to inquire because, we have been begging for transparency the whole way, and we tried to be very transparent with them, and we hope that they will be transparent with us, especially.
You hear that? We've been trying to be transparent with Mississippi, and they gotta hope that they be transparent with us. Y'all have the results. Ben Crump gave his results. Smash that like button if y'all think that they're going to try to lie and say that Nolan drowned accidentally. If y'all think that they're going to lie and say Nolan Wells was on drugs and this was an accidental death, this is why they're holding the autopsy. Y'all got it, but won't show it.
It's unknown to us, but we're certainly going to inquire because, we have been begging for transparency the whole way, and we tried to be very transparent with them, and we hope that they will be transparent with us, especially his family.
Yeah. So Ben, can they not release information to you? Because I know that, to explain the process, because it goes to a grand jury. Now, do you know if they're going to be transparent with you, or you don't, and how much you think they can or will reveal?
Well, I think they can. They can do what they want. We do cases all across America, and the district attorney and the governmental authorities have the authority to release information as they so deem to.
Now, y'all see that? This is not no rules to where they don't have to release the autopsy. Like Ben Crump just said, they can release it if they want to. They choose not to. It's something with this autopsy. It's something with the way that Nolan died, that it was unjust, that it was not no accident for them to hide this fact for this long. There is no way. They can turn it over if they want to, but they choose not to because they have something to hide.
Bill.
Well, I think they can. They can do what they want. We do cases all across America, and the district attorney and the governmental authorities have the authority to release information as they so deem to release it. Don Lemon, they can be transparent, or they can say, well, we're not going to release anything until the grand jury. And then that means we don't know when we're going to see it, because nobody knows when they're going to conclude their report. And in George Floyd and Breonna Taylor cases like that, where you had governmental authorities trying to be transparent, they would release information to try to build public trust. What are they going to do in Mississippi? We do not.
Now, do you hear this? In George Floyd and all these other situations, when they were backed in the corner and they were trying to build trust with the public because we didn't believe them, is Mississippi going to do the same thing? Or is Mississippi going to be Mississippi burning, to where they're not going to do none of that? I feel like they're holding it until the grand jury. I think it's going to be their aunts on the grand jury, uncles, grandfathers, you know what I'm saying? Next door neighbors. These are going to be people that's connected. It's all families in that small town that's going to try to say that it was an accident, drowning.
And in George Floyd and Breonna Taylor cases like that, where you had governmental authorities trying to be transparent, they would release information to try to build public trust. What are they going to do in Mississippi? We do not know if they're going to release it. They may say, we're not going to release anything at all and to the grand jury, and the grand jury might convene. She does never know.
You said the grand jury might convene. You cut out for a second, Ben.
They can convene anytime the district attorney's office says that we've completed our investigation. It's all up to them. It could be next week. It could be 2 or 3 months. We have.
Wow. So it could be next week or 3 months from now that they can sit there and still hold Nolan Xavier Well autopsy results. So the autopsy is complete right now, but they still plan to, they can hold it up to 3 months. If they didn't do nothing wrong, if you don't have nothing to hide, then why aren't they trying to turn it over? You know what I'm saying? They are going to stall. You're right, and that's what they've been doing.
The district attorney's office says that we've completed our investigation. It's all up to them. It could be next week. It could be 2 or 3 months. We have no control over when the grand jury is convened and when the district attorney decides to release information.
Why did it take Mississippi so long to present these results? And do you know why they've been so quiet?
I don't want to speculate. I know oftentimes they would offer that they're waiting for toxicology. So why it took as long as it did, but we hope that they will be transparent with us, because as Dr. Mitchell, who conducted the independent autopsy at the behest of the family, Don Lemon, articulated, he shared that he would not be able to tell if the airways were obstructed, if the lungs were filled with water, because by the time he got Nolan's body, the organs had already been dissected.
And you hear that? About time his independent autopsy person got it, they already took organs. They took Nolan's neck. They still ain't give it back yet. They was able to do whatever they wanted to do. Smash that like button, guys, if y'all think that this is a cover up. And put a 1 in the chat if y'all think they're trying to cover something up. Put a 2 in the chat if y'all don't think that it's a cover up. If y'all just think that he just mysteriously drowned, but they took this long and they're still hiding like they got something to hide.
Obstructed, if the lungs were filled with water, because by the time he got Nolan's body, the organs had already been dissected. And so he left it written on the observations of the state medical examiner, who would have gotten Nolan's body immediately once they recovered it.
I want to ask you, so that's the only way that you're going to know if the independent autopsy and the state autopsy, if they indeed match up with each other. So 2 questions. That's the only way you're going to know. So one would think that they'd have to be transparent, or at least they'd want to, so that you can combine the two, because they'd want to get to the bottom of it. If there's some discrepancy with one or the other, that can be really, beneficial to finding out what happened to Nolan.
Exactly. So if Mississippi's autopsy doesn't match Ben Crump's autopsy, then you know that they did something foul. Like if it doesn't line up with each other, I'm telling you, they're going to try to say that he drowned. I already feel it.
What happens if the results in Mississippi don't align with the evidence shown so far? That's a big deal.
Yeah, and oftentimes, Don, you do find that you have differences in autopsies. I know I've had several cases where the state medical examiner concludes one thing and an independent medical examiner concludes another. And then you have to put it before a grand jury and they decide. Or even more profound, the matter then goes to an actual jury trial in whether it's criminal proceeding or not, or civil proceeding. And so it really is about what you said, trying to be transparent with one another and seeing if we can figure out why you get these conclusions. And remember this, Don, autopsy is not the end all. It's still other factors that are important as well. Remember, Dr. Roger Mitchell said, even if the conclusion is he died from a drowning, then the questions become, what was the condition of his body before he entered the water?
Exactly. So even if they try to say that Nolan had drowned to death, did somebody drown him? I mean, he did have the things on the back of his neck as if somebody held him underwater. Pure survival. Smash that like button if y'all think that Nolan was drowned to death. If y'all think that he was held down and drowned to death and thrown in the water. You know what I'm saying? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all think that. If y'all don't think it, put a 2 in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they can try to say, oh, well, we found water in his lungs. How did it get there? Who did it?
Not the end all. It's still other factors that are important as well. Remember, Dr. Roger Mitchell said, even if the conclusion is he died from a drowning, then the questions become, what was the condition of his body before he entered the water? Was he conscious or was he unconscious? Was he forced into the water, or was he not forced into the water? So all of these become very important variables as you look at it. And I'm saying this, and I'm here with Christine and Elmore as we go to Cincinnati, Ohio, to speak to a lot of young people, high school students, and so forth at the Omega Conclave Convention. I'm sensitive. We're talking about autopsy, and I know this gets a little emotional.
Well, that's why I want to ask Miss Christine, who's there, and Mr. Elmore there as well. Miss Christine, thank you so much.
I'll hand the phone to Christine.
Okay. I know that it's difficult for you to listen to this,
And Nolan's mother, guys. Everybody smash that like button for Nolan's mother. All the threats and everything that she's been receiving, hate mail, people giving her bad reviews at her job, all kinds of stuff, but nobody been arrested for the harassment that she's been receiving. But somebody just got arrested for one of Nolan's fake friends' mother sending her threats, but nobody went to jail for threatening her. Nobody went to jail for taking her son's life.
Aware that you're in the background and you're having to deal with this. I wrote something this morning in my newsletter, and I said that you've been wanting transparency around this. First of all, good morning, thank you for joining us. But you've been wanting transparency around this. But hearing the actual words and the results or whatever, that is extremely difficult. You want transparency, but then to be able to hear it is heart-wrenching. It's really a double-edged sword.
It is. And honestly, it's one of those things when we're sitting in it, because we have not been able to fully breathe right. So there's a bit of disassociation that occurs. And I too have to just always take a moment to step back and be like, okay, however it goes, right? Like it has to in some way, like it has to be accepted. But again, I can't fully accept the answers and things that were told to us at the beginning because it was too soon. There was no investigation.
And Nolan's mom is right. Smash that like button, guys, for Nolan's mom. She's saying that if it comes back that my son accidentally, whatever, if that was the real case, that I will learn to accept it. But she's saying I can't accept the fact that in the very beginning, before any investigation was done, these people just try to flat out tell her, hey, your son died, accidentally drowned. No, nothing. The first 2 minutes after finding his body. So what's wrong with her standing up fighting?
however it goes, right? Like it has to in some way, like it has to be accepted. But again, I can't fully accept the answers and things that were told to us at the beginning because it was too soon. There was no investigation. Stories did not align. And so for people to say, hey, why can't you just accept it after drowning and be done and those things that have occurred. But
And why would you tell a parent that? They told her, why don't you just accept that Nolan drowned? Why don't you just accept that your son just drowned mysteriously, your healthy son, and the fact that text messages and Snapchats and all of this stuff deleted out of his phone, his fake friends acting weird, people coming out saying that they're your son's friend that you never even met before. Why don't you just accept it? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all think that that's wrong. Put a 2 in the chat if y'all think that that's right. Like, are you just going to accept somebody just tell you that? Like, hey, get over it. Like, your son being deceased is just like having a new outfit. Yo, go get a new outfit tomorrow. Like, you can get a brand new son again or a brand new daughter again. That's crazy to me. That's crazy.
But again, I can't fully accept the answers and things that were told to us at the beginning because it was too soon. There was no investigation. Stories did not align. And so for people to say, hey, why can't you just accept it after drowning and be done and those things that have occurred. But that's why we needed that independent autopsy. We needed to make sure that whatever was found was true. But of course, when you don't have the complete picture, that also, kind of makes you question even more, like, what exactly are we dealing with? And we need that. Like, my husband and I, our family, we need those questions answered.
When you got the news that the autopsy, for the state autopsy was done, what went through what was that like for you? What did you think?
I said, oh, wow. But then again, like Attorney Crump said, the DA did reach out. Actually, I had texted the victim's advocate, Amanda, saying, hey, were there any updates for the autopsy? I know the coroner told us it takes about 2 to 3 weeks for the toxicology report to come back, which I know that was kind of the main thing they were stressing. And so then I think that afternoon, so today is what? So I think that was maybe a day or two ago, the DA had called and I missed the call. And by the time I saw it, it was too late and I wasn't gonna call her at 9 o'clock because I've had to change the settings on my phones because
Everybody smash that like button for Nolan Xavier's mother. Shout out DJ Brown Sugar, just hit that super chat, pure survival. Why are people acting like text messages and pictures are going for good? Right, DJ, right. Them boys deleted whatever they deleted, but the moment that they go through them phones and they look that up, that's going to be the bombshell of this whole case. Once they go through them boys, the other boys' phones. You see how long they didn't want them to go through the phones? Like if they didn't do nothing wrong, why didn't Mississippi police go and search their phones? Let it be you. It could be a theft charge, like something small. This could be a murder. They will come get your phone. They will put you in jail, everything. You know what I'm saying? Smash that like button and thank you so much for the super chat. You first to hit that super chat during survival. You know what I'm saying? Like during survival.
They were stressing. And so then I think that afternoon, so today is what? So I think that was maybe a day or two ago, the DA had called and I missed the call. And by the time I saw it, it was too late and I wasn't gonna call her at 9 o'clock because I've had to change the settings on my phones because of the harassing phone calls I've been getting.
Wow. She had to change her phone number, guys. Y'all need to get them likes up. Double tap that screen. I don't care if it's the demonic entities that's in here that are hateful people, that are whatever. All the people that want justice for Nolan, y'all all should be double tapping that screen right there. I would not tell y'all to do that if it wasn't important just to push this video out there. She just said she's been getting harassed. She had to change her phone number. But nobody went to jail for that. But they just locked up somebody today, the FBI, for harassing Nolan's fake friend's mother. But this woman had to change her phone number. Nobody ain't getting arrested for harassing her, the grieving mother that lost her child for no damn reason. And then they telling her she need to get over it and accept that he drowned. That's crazy.
I think that afternoon, so today is what, so I think that was maybe a day or two ago, the DA had called and I missed the call, and by the time I saw it, it was too late and I wasn't gonna call her at 9 o'clock because I've had to change the settings on my phones because of the harassing phone calls I've been getting.
Wow.
I want to talk to you about all of that, but just one more thing before we go into that. I just spoke with Ben about transparency. What are you hoping from Mississippi, whoever's releasing this information, whether it be the medical examiner's office, the state, or the DA? What would you like from them? You want to hear everything, I'm sure.
I would like for everyone to just do their job. I would like for everyone to treat this as if this was their child.
Wow. Everybody, if you agree with her, smash that like button. You know what I'm saying? Or even if you want to highlight your comment, do what, you can put it in a super chat and everybody will be able to read it. She just wants you to treat her son like it was your son. That's all she asking these people. Y'all completed the autopsy in Mississippi today. They just said it. Why can't we know what the autopsy said? Y'all still dirtying up the autopsy? Y'all still putting more dirt on it? But then y'all locking everybody else up, but nobody's getting arrested for harassing her or taking out her son. I mean, that's all she's asking for, Mississippi.
Whoever's releasing this information, whether it be the medical examiner's office, the state, or the DA, what would you like from them? You want to hear everything, I'm sure.
I would like for everyone to just do their job. I would like for everyone to treat this as if this was their child or their family member and give us the same honesty, transparency, and respect that they would expect for them or their family.
Now, what's wrong with that?
Amen. Now, can we talk about the other stuff? You went there, so I feel like I can go there because I've been bothered by it. We've been reporting on it. It's disgusting. I'm going to start with one thing, and then I'll talk about the harassment of you, especially as a mother and then as a medical professional. And I know you take your profession very seriously when you said, "I love everybody, black, white, red, green. It does not matter." So do not get that wrong. And you've always had really good reviews. But I want to talk about this. Blaming the victim and smearing the victim. The reports that we've been hearing. No, Nolan was drinking. He was doing this. He was doing that. Why? I guess we know why they're doing it, but I want to know what your assessment is, how you feel about that, because
Shout out. Shy Knickers just hit that super chat. We got our second super chat during survival. The video Tatum shared with the boys on the boat. I see a black boy behind the center council sitting down. They tried to black this area out. What? Oh, shout out to you. Thanks for the super chat. I didn't know that. You just told me something new. Now you see how that super chat go? When you say something like that, I can read your comment. I can't read everybody's comment that's coming up like that. But if you hit the super chat like that, it'll highlight. Wow, I didn't know that. See, it's some cover-up stuff going on. Then Nolan's mom talking about the harassment she's dealing with.
Say that he was. I'm not saying that he was. This is saying that whatever he was doing, that doesn't mean that you have to die. Then that doesn't mean he was the only one.
Exactly.
And what do you think young people do? On my senior trip, I was, out there, right? So I'm just saying, kids have fun. So what does that have to do with anything? That's what I don't understand. What's your assessment on this?
Now they asking Dom Lemon asking her, what do she think about the fact that they're trying to lie and say, oh, Nolan was drunk, Nolan was high, Nolan's a drug addict. Even if Nolan was drunk or high or partying with all the rest of them, because they all was doing it together, allegedly, pure survival. If Nolan was doing it, they all was doing it. What does that have to do with if somebody took his life? You see what I'm saying? Like they're trying to paint this picture to make it like Nolan was this bad person and he just gets high, he gets drunk, he gets tore up. He like they're blaming his death on him. Now I mean imagine how his mom feel. Shout out to the lounge, beautiful coming in the building, pure survival. Listen to what his mom's saying.
Honestly, I feel like that is a way which we've seen this before, right? Pattern recognition. We've seen this where things have happened, especially when we talk about the Black community. And, after the death, it's a smear campaign. It's, what can we find out about this person? What can we say? And, that's something, my family and I, especially my husband and I, we definitely do not appreciate. But we can't fight everyone that wants to have an opinion. But also, too, it's part of society that has been allowed to occur, which is it's gut wrenching at best. Because if you were in our situation, how would you feel if there were millions of people who are saying, oh, hey, well, he was at an island, he was heavily drunk. And again, even with the drinking, there are so many conflicting stories, only because I have spoken with adults who knew Nolan very well, coaches that were out there. One in particular, I think he told me he saw Nolan somewhere between like 2:45 and 3:30. He was like, Christine, yeah, we talked for a while. We talked about college. We talked about his life, his plans. And he was like, he was perfectly fine.
You hear that? Nolan was perfectly fine during survival. Other people that seen him out there that day. And like his mother just said, they purposely tried to dirty your name up. Even the motherfucker that looked like Brian Kohlberger, the guy, the Mexican dude that got locked up for threatening his mom today, he said that I seen Nolan. Nolan was fine, like da 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 da. But why are they trying to lie and say he's tore up, that he was tore up now? Why are they doing that? You know what I'm saying? Continue to smash that like button. And like I said, shout out to everybody that hit that super chat. And if you want your comment highlight, hit it in the super chat.
45 and 3:30. He was like, Christine, yeah, we talked for a while. We talked about college. We talked about his life, his plans. And he was like, he was perfectly fine. Because I think it had bothered him too that there was this narrative of, oh, he was sloppy drunk. Like that. And it started at the very beginning. It was, oh, he was sloppy drunk. I'm like, but was he though?
Wow, see that? Even his mom knows it's a lie. She said in the very beginning they tried to say that Nolan was sloppy drunk. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all think that that's a complete lie. Put a 2 in the chat if y'all really believe that Nolan was sloppy drunk. Pure survival. That's what they tried to tell her in the beginning. We're just hearing. Like recently, the last couple of days, they've been trying to say TMZ coming out, talking about, oh, Nolan was tore up, Nolan was drunk, Nolan was this and that. His mom's saying that they told her that from the beginning when they was trying to get her to sweep it under the rug. Hey, look, ma'am, your son drowned accidentally. The man was tore up, pure survival, couldn't hold his alcohol. They were lying from the gun bus. This is crazy, guys. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Smash that like button, you know what I mean?
His plans, and he was like, he was perfectly fine. Because I think it had bothered him too that there was this narrative of, oh, he was sloppy drunk. Like that. And it started at the very beginning. It was, oh, he was sloppy drunk. I'm like, but was he though? Or is this a narrative that you guys want to use to kind of have us just accept that it was a drowning?
Wow.
Are you prepared for whatever it is? I know that's tough. You know, that's a yes and no question.
Honestly, it's hard to be prepared in any way with the way we have been thrusted onto the national stage and just kind of everything. And it's going to take a long time. So even, God willing, when we do get honest, transparent answers, right? Even when we get those answers, it's still going to take a moment, not even a moment, it's still going to take a while for us to digest and really accept that. Because again,
Exactly. She said, if we do get honest, you know what I'm saying? Nephew, if Jamil goes back on TMZ, he's going to tell them how they've been lying. Pure survival. Yeah, I mess around and go on there and crash right out and tell the truth. You know what I mean? But so you absolutely right. But like she said, if they tell the truth, it's still going to take a while to adjust. But unfortunately, I don't think they're going to tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, sweetheart, that these people are, I think TMZ is being paid to spew their narrative. Even the lawyer just came out. Bart Edmonston's lawyer just came out after suing the OnlyFans social media influencer. You know what I'm saying? Bart lawyer came out last night and admitted that Bart was really on the boat. If Bart was never there, if he was supposed to be somewhere else, why did they lie and say that he was somewhere else? And his lawyer messed up last night and literally said, you know what I'm saying, that Bart was there. So the truth is starting to come out.
And just kind of everything. And it's going to take a long time. So even, God willing, when we do get honest, transparent answers, right? Even when we get those answers, it's still going to take a moment, not even a moment, it's still going to take a while for us to digest and really accept that. Because again, and this is just me now speaking from a medical standpoint, we're kind of stuck in one of the stages of grief because we don't have answers. And that's the thing people don't understand. Everyone grieves differently. You hit those stages of grief at different times, and sometimes you feel like they might go on at the same time. But right now, we're kind of just stuck, and we can't move forward because we don't have answers.
Don't that make sense? Put a 1 in the chat if that makes sense. With Nolan's mother just said. When people trying to tell them they just need to go somewhere, sit down, and accept that your son drowned to death, how can they get over or move forward to try to start to heal if no truth has came out about his death yet? How? Like I can't. Nolan is not even resting in peace right now, knowing how he really was taken out. That is just crazy. It's sad.
In one of the stages of grief because we don't have answers. And that's the thing people don't understand. Everyone grieves differently. You hit those stages of grief at different times, and sometimes you feel like they might go on at the same time. But right now, we're kind of just stuck, and we can't move forward because we don't have answers.
So when you talk about all the things that have been spread, there is this officer, I hate mentioning his name, a former officer who's a far right wing, who's been doing the interviews and has been saying, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not even going to comment on Brandon Tatum. No. Okay.
And that's the best thing that she could have done. Smash that like button for Nolan's mother not giving Officer Uncle Tom Tatum, aka the Timu version of Heavy D. She's not giving him no energy or no content during survival. Cause Brandon sellout Tatum, if she was to say something about him, he's gonna run on his YouTube channel. Like I just noticed, cause I just, start looking at his channel just to see like what type of weird shit this dude be talking about. And I only looked at a few videos, not like long, because I can't listen to that man for more than 2 seconds. But if he says something about her, if she says something about him, he's going to continue to use her for content, continue to use Nolan's death for content, to make money off his death. You know what I'm saying? And the the racist white MAGAs that he's working for, they're so excited. They love Brandon, but they don't even like black people, pure survival. But they love Brandon. And I don't know how Brandon still keep cheering for him, because when they get mad, that's when they quick to say the N-word. But if you think that they quick to say N-word to me or to you or to y'all, Brandon's still thinking that they're not talking about him too. Sir, the N-word applies for all black people. That's what they mean when they say that, unless they're viewing you separately. No, if you say the word, you N-word, you're talking, that's how you feel about all black people. You know what I'm saying? Then they try to say, well, N-word, it means ignorant person. I know what the hell it means. And I know that that's what we were named. And we were named that for the color of our skin. Like, mom, look, honey, look, there's a nigga. Gruh. I gotta say gruh. You know what I'm saying? But yes, this is just sad, man. Prayers for Nolan's mother, and I'm glad she's not giving Officer Sellout Tatum any energy. Look, Tatum is dialing with the racist white people, the white people that stand with us. Yes, because we have many white people that stand with us that's not like Officer Sellout Tatum and like these other racist ones that's totally different.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna comment on Brandon Tatum. No. Okay.
I respect that, and that's the right answer for everybody. I believe. I feel like because I mentioned him, I'm like, why did I even mention him? Because he doesn't deserve a platform.
No, he does not.
So let's talk about the people, the young men that he's been interviewing. They're saying they're his best friends. Some of them you said that you don't know. One of them even said, "Oh, Nolan would be outraged by the way his parents are handling this." And I'm like, wait, what? Like, why on earth would somebody go on and say that about a grieving family? But go.
Again, distraction. We're not even gonna address them or that man. We only want the truth. Again, at the end of the day, I'm gonna say it like I've been saying it. The only question we have is what happened to Nolan. That's what we need.
Boom. Keep it simple and plain. Everybody smash that like button for Nolan's mother. Now, one of Nolan's fake friends that said, oh my God, if Nolan was here, he'd be so disappointed at his parents. Why would you say that Nolan would be disappointed at his parents wanting to get justice for his death? Are you crazy? That's how you know that them fake friends is weird as a motherfucker. To say something like that out of their mouth. My Nolan would be so disappointed in his parents. So his parents should have just been like, oh, it's okay. He died and drowned. That they shouldn't be wanting justice. Yes, the boy said that. That's why I'm glad she just said, I'm not going to mention Officer Sellout Tatum, nor is she going to even mention the boys, to not even give them any energy. So that already lets you know how she feels.
Go on and say that about a grieving family, but go.
Again, distraction. We're not even gonna address them or that man. We only want the truth. Again, at the end of the day, I'm gonna say it like I've been saying it. The only question we have is what happened to Nolan. That's what we need to know. That's it. That's all.
Dad, you've been here. We saw you yesterday with not only speaking up for your son, but for others as well who have been involved in mysterious deaths. That was a very emotional moment for you, and the vulnerability I saw there.
And smash that like button, everybody, for Nolan Xavier Wells' father. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, his father been the most emotional out of the whole thing. The mom is hurt too, super emotional, everything. But I'm saying the dad has been, crying through his soul. Like, it's hard for me to even watch when he talks, the way the dad talks in reference to Nolan. You know what I'm saying? I know he wish he was there, to help kick behinds on that boat that day. You know what I'm saying?
You want to say to folks who are, your wife is getting, threats, she's being harassed. Those families have been treated like they're a nuisance by police departments, according to the reporting. What do you want to say to America about this?
Like my wife said, just from a parent standpoint, we just want to know what happened. We want a fair and thorough investigation, just like the other families, because we heard just like them. If this was their children, they would want to know. They would want to go to every resource they can get to the ends of the world to find out what happened. So that's all we're doing. We're not accusing anyone. We just want to know what happened to our son because it doesn't add up.
It doesn't add up, like the dad said. We aren't accusing anyone. They weren't accusing the friends at the beginning, pure survival. They weren't. It's just that the things that haven't been adding up and the sneakiness, and then the one friend that went on an interview with all looked like he still had the blood residue on them dirty clothes on that interview. They all talking and seeming sneaky. People are being arrested right now, all the way in other states that have nothing to do with Nolan and Xavier. Well, they do have something to do with Nolan because they were trying to get justice, but went about it the wrong way by making threats, which he deserved to get locked up. But why aren't they putting the same energy to arrest people, to sue people, to all of these different things to other people? Why aren't they using that same energy to get justice for Nolan? To arrest someone that was in Horn Island, that's a part of this cover-up. We heard the audio, okay? Nolan, get up. Is he dead? Bart, oh shit, Bart. Y'all want us to not have, like, we didn't hear that? And Bart's lawyer trying to say that never happened. Bart's lawyer said that it doesn't say that on the audio. Literally, he came out last night and said it is altered. Sir, Ben Crump and them got their own specialist that's going to listen to that audio. When they go through them phones and see the boys sitting there saying, dude, we made a pact. Y'all better not tell nobody nothing. We got to take this to our graves. All them text messages, I know that them boys was saying stupid stuff. Killers always got to tell someone else. That's how people get caught, because they end up can't hold it. And it was too many people in that crime. Now, if you went and did something, which I would never tell you to do, but if you went and committed a crime, that's why people say, oh, I'm going to do it by myself, because then can't nobody snitch on you but you. All of them people that was on that boat, oh, somebody gonna tell. Soon as they go through them phones, that's when the first person gonna break. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be like, oh, we got the evidence. Look, if you don't tell, you're gonna get life in prison.
What happened? So that's all we're doing. We're not accusing anyone. We just want to know what happened to our son because it doesn't add up. Times don't add up, stories don't add up, and it just doesn't. So we just want a fair and thorough investigation so we can grieve properly because we can't, because there are so many answers, but so many questions that are not answered.
I don't know if you want to respond to this, or Ben or Christine. The father of one of the young men who's been speaking out has put up a $50,000 reward reportedly. What do you think of that, Ben or Elmore or Christine?
Yeah, we are happy with anybody who wants to share the objective to get into the truth of what happened to Nolan Wales.
So this is what I want to say. For the dad who's coming out saying that he wants to put up $50,000 for justice for Nolan, my thing is, why didn't he do that from the beginning? Why didn't he do that before everybody started doing their investigation all over the internet, pure survival, and started finding out that it was a possibility that the kids could have been involved? And then we start making all this noise all over the internet. Now the dad want to put up money to get justice for Nolan. Well, sir, instead of putting the money up, just go knock on your son's door and say, son, come on, tell me what happened. If you want to get justice, sir, it'd be so much more cheaper if you just go in there and talk to the son that know about it. Go just call the police right now. Look, my son downstairs. Instead of putting up the money, if you want justice, you know what I'm talking about? That's the crazy thing. You know, and look, don't even worry about the trolls. Forget the trolls. I don't care. Let them talk. You know what I'm saying? Like they make the shit keep going. They don't want justice. The trolls want to accept to try to say that he drowned. You know what I'm saying? But we all need trolls because somebody got to get nuts in their mouth. Put nuts in the troll's mouth. Y'all see them saying stupid stuff? Put nuts in their mouth. Because we're not going to stop. We're going to keep going until we get justice for Nolan. You know what I mean? And how did the father want to put up $50,000 and then put a lawsuit out on Ben Crump right after that? Do y'all know the same dad that said he want to put up $50,000 to get justice for Nolan, put out a lawsuit against Ben Crump? That makes no sense. But Ben Crump and them gotta say stuff the right way, the proper way, the politically correct way. He can't talk the way I can talk and say that's bullshit. You know what I'm talking about? It makes no sense. And then you see how he want to put up $50,000 now. They had enough money to sweep this under the rug. Them parents had the bag. That's all it's showing me, that they had money that they can pay to hide shit. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
We applaud it and we say, yeah, let's all work together to get answers because we, as we've said continuously down Lemon, adamantly, somebody saw something, somebody knows something. I mean, and that's what you want, are answers.
Ben, yes, we all do want answers in this. Can you talk to us about that press conference yesterday? Because it's not just, and all of them 18 years old, these young people, right? It was a very emotional press conference with the family and the grandmother. You chose to highlight that at the Urban League. Tell us why.
You know, I am so thankful that Christine and Elmore, Nola's parents, were open to being able to use the attention that they have been blessed with and the loss of their son to try to help other 18-year-old Black boys who were lost in similar manner as Nolan.
And do y'all get that? Do y'all get that? They're not giving credit to Nolan's mother and father for the fact that the press that they had yesterday, they could have told Ben, look, no, we want to only talk about our son, okay? We don't care about the other Black boys that got done just like Nolan did. No, this press is going to be only about our son. They didn't do that. They said, no, we can use this time with this Nolan case and highlight the other young Black kids that just got killed within a 3-month span all together by other white kids, you know what I'm saying, and got away with it. That's all. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy.
I mean, you and I have been doing this for years where you use your platforms to give, you know, a voice to those who don't have a voice. And when you saw that press conference yesterday, you saw two families completely devastated where you had that 18-year-old Black boys, 3 families, all in search of the truth, coming together about what really happened to their children. You had Daniel Irvin, who, like Nolan, they're saying it was an accidental drowning, even though his mother said he was on the swim team. And the fact that he was, you know, on a fishing trip or something with 2 other white teenagers, he allegedly accidentally drowns, and then they throw away his cell phone and throw away his clothes, and they delete all their text messages with him. And his mother, Tamika, is out of her mind trying to say, where's my baby? And after 4 days and a all out search where the activist community and everybody is getting involved. Then one of the young men and his parents come forward and say, well, he accidentally drowned and we were scared, so we got rid of evidence and, we are sorry. And so they're charged with tampering with evidence that they lied.
And that's all they got charged with, was tampering with evidence. Same type of thing. Now, what is the odds that one black boy goes out with two other white boys and the black boy drowned that was on a swim team? Like, this one of them black boys who could swim, pure survival. I'm one of them motherfuckers you could get away with that, because I can't swim. But I'm not one of them dudes that go all out deep in the ocean anyway, pure survival. I stand on the side and take pictures and video. I don't get deep down in the motherfucking water anyway. But what's the odds that they ended up admitting, saying he drowned first, and then admitted that we were scared, so we hid it. We lied about it. And all they got was tampering with evidence. This is crazy. Fake drown. Same way they trying to lie with Nolan.
Scared, so we got rid of evidence and, we are sorry. And so they're charged with tampering with evidence that they lied about. And his mother, Tamika, is saying, if you lied about his cell phone, you lied about throwing away his clothes, you lied about deleting text messages, then how can we believe you when you say he accidentally drowned when my son was a swimmer? And the fact that the Dallas Police Department took 3 months, even after they confessed to doing all of this down Levin, before they did anything. And she adamantly believes that it was because of Nolan Wells that they finally arrested them for tampering with evidence. She didn't think they were going to do anything, and this was just this black mother by herself just fighting down. Nobody gave them any attention in the media and stuff. And so,
wow, so that woman, because of Nolan Wells' case, blew up like it is, made them want to do an arrest for the other black young 18-year-old. While this mother was fighting by herself with no lawyers, with no nothing, like knowing my son did not drown. The story that they telling is a lie. These dumb boys should be locked up for murder, but no, they're locked up for tampering with evidence. You know what I'm talking about? Like I said, if this was an accident and Nolan's fake friends or whatever, and I call them fake friends because the way they acted after Nolan's death, not going to the funeral, all this other shit, talking about we were scared to go. The damn FBI, the feds, detective, Tyrone, everybody and their mom would have been at that funeral. If something would have happened to you, they would be going to the moon like that white boy that was on a bike with E.T. Wasn't nobody going to do nothing to y'all. You know what I mean? To me, that's a poor excuse. That's a I feel guilty type of thing. But that's just my thought. But like I said, if it was an accident, if they'd have just came out and said, look, he got high, we all was doing drugs, we tried some stuff, he accidentally died, more people would be feeling differently and would believe you a little more if y'all have said that in the beginning. But the fact that y'all start hiding shit, taking stuff out his phone, not communicating with his mom, like all of it, and then the Mississippi start trying to hide shit, trying to silence people, sent to Uncle Tom, went and find the black guy that just wants to be a MAGA and want to be down with us. Go find him on the internet. Come on, we need an Uncle Tom. And then they found motherfucking Officer Tatum. And said, look, Tom, go out there and make sure you don't ask my son no crazy questions. Pure survival. Make my son look good on this interview. And Uncle Tom went out there and did that. You know what I'm saying?
That's what this is about. Trying to make sure people know our children's lives matter too. And then, Don, Tyler Smith in Lexington, Kentucky. I mean, on 4th of July, this is the same day that Nolan goes missing. Her son, Lindsay Smith's son, Tyler, is at the house celebrating 4th of July, and he's the only black person there. And he somehow ends up shot in the head, dead. 911 is called, the police call, And then they say they were playing Russian roulette, that it was an accidental shooting, that he shot himself.
Even that alone, and that young black 18-year-old boy that was with the white boys and they were playing Russian roulette. The moment I tell a police officer I had a gun in my hand and we were just playing Russian roulette, I'm going to jail for that alone. Pure survival. How the hell did these boys go to jail? Then yo, this is just crazy, guys. Smash that like button. Shout out to everybody in the building. Everybody get them likes up if y'all want justice for Nolan Wells. That's all I care about, and I'm not gonna stop. I'm just not.
And they did an analysis down the limit. They found out that the casings did not match that gun. And so then they had to investigate everybody who was at the house. Nobody volunteered anything. They went 7 days later to a young man's house, surrounded it, and then finally he came out and offered the gun and said, "This is the gun that he shot himself with." And you would think they would say, "Hold on, why didn't you tell us this the day we went to the house? Why did you tamper with evidence? Why did you take evidence away from the scene?" They only charged him with tampering with evidence. They still have not charged anybody with killing Tyler Smith, even though if you didn't do anything wrong, why would you take the gun from the scene of the alleged shooting? And so
Exactly. So the boy takes the murder weapon from the scene. The cops go to his house. He hands them the gun. Okay, this is the gun that killed him. And all they gave him was tampering with evidence? Come on, man. Come on. Smash that like button, guys. Y'all can't, I mean, even if you racist, you gotta admit, and I'm not gonna lie, shout out to all the white people that's been standing up, that's been calling these people out. Because white people been out in outrage, especially ones that aren't racist. Because they don't like this, they don't like them people either. And they know that them people are just all about, look, we got money, we got the power. They don't care about them either. Like the people in the higher ups, they look down at all of us. They look at them like they're low income trailer trash, like how they look at black people, low income ghetto motherfuckers, da da. And the highest that they let you go is to a middle class. They even lowering the middle class now. They even trying to do everything to where anytime that you working from paycheck to paycheck, but you did everything right in your life. You know what I'm saying? You went to college, you went and got degrees, you did all this stuff. How are you still living paycheck to paycheck? You supposed to be living an American dream. But no, they're so greedy, they don't even want you, they don't even want a middle class. They want just the rich and the poor. That's just the truth.
so it's just god awful, and we have to continue to stay on that. I think all of these cases, we're going to find the answers out to what happened. We're going to find it out. 3 18-year-old black boys.
Ben, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I have to ask you some legal questions here because it's part of the story, and I want to debunk stuff that's not true.
Yep.
So there have been reports of legal maneuvering from the mom, the parents, to open up the estate, to investigate, possibly sue people who are for misinformation. Are those things true? Do you want to talk about that?
Certainly. As you know, we're not law enforcement, so to get subpoena power and information, we have to have a legal apparatus. So, state in Nolan Wells' name, and because we have to do
Ben,
that.
can you back up a little bit? You cut out. I'm sorry, back up just a little bit. I want everybody to hear this. Pardon me.
Yeah, let's be clear. Because we're not law enforcement, we're private entities, and we have to use certain legal apparatuses that are available to us. One such thing is we open up estates, which, as we all know, is the only entity that can speak for somebody once they are deceased. And so his mother is over his estate. But once we get that state open down limit, that then gives us the right to be able to subpoena people and entities and corporations to preserve evidence, to preserve information. So that's why we sent those subpoenas out, because we want that evidence to be preserved, because we don't know what is going to be relevant and not relevant, but we don't want it to be destroyed or lost. And so we want to look at the phone records. We want to look at the social media records. We want to look at the text messages, because that may be very valuable information to discovering what happened to Nolan Wells.
Point blank, period. So these boys had enough time to destroy their phones, to destroy evidence, to cover things up, and then they wonder why we believe something happened inappropriate to Nolan Xavier Wells. Why we don't believe that he drowned mysteriously, like he just, like, this is crazy, man. But like I told y'all, an arrest was made in Nolan Xavier Wells murder case, but nobody got arrested for taking Nolan's life. Just a dude that made a threat to one of Nolan's friends, fake friends' mother. Where in Mississippi does, I don't know where nobody live. The administration is trying to turn over 14, or people better wake up. Yeah, man, it's crazy. If Nolan truly drowned, they would have said immediately that how we know that Nolan didn't just drown. Right. Drake must have shut out. But that's why I kept it on me at all times. I don't trust nobody. Yo, Drake Mustad, salute to you, man. Listen, shout out to you. I mean, keeping that thing all the way G right there. You know, Jamil, I keep it all the way comedy, on the camera, but, I kind of, I understand that language you just talked about. Just put it like that. That's why I told motherfuckers earlier, these people saying crazy things and threatening and all that. I said, if you run into me with some dumb stuff, you better be prepared to go viral. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be shocked. You're going to be like, damn, and I'm the nicest dude in the world. But when it comes to somebody coming at me wrong and not knowing, like, hey, Jamil ain't that guy, like, outside of the internet. He's a really nice guy, but don't come at me talking that racist stuff and saying stupid stuff. It wouldn't be a great idea. You know what I'm saying? Sir King in the building during survival. Said viral movie, man. Thank you so much. We trying to get justice, man, for Nolan, guys. That's all we want. You know what I mean? Soon as I heard that it was an arrest made, I get up, I'm like, oh, they done got the children of Mississippi corn, oh, they going to jail, oh, they finally locked one of them up. Then I see it's a whole Mexican dude all the way in California. I'm like, what the fuck? They arrested a Mexican dude in California? But they didn't arrest nobody for Nolan's death? Man. The sweetheart, she said facts. Hey, Jamil in the chat, thanks for keeping us update on this. You know it. Thank you so much. Yeah, we had an arrest made, but it wasn't the exciting arrest that we all, I know what I thought. Mississippi Children of the Corn, yes, they are some bad motherfuckers. I'm the same way, Jamil. I'm actually from the streets, but I'm super nice. I just don't want trouble anymore. Right. Drake Drake's dad Mustard. I'm the same. Look, I don't want no trouble. You know what I'm saying? But, very peaceful. But the motherfucker, you know, if it come to me, then it's like, oh, look, I ain't got no other choice but to show you, like, oh shit, damn, I shouldn't have came at that nigga. You know what I mean? Like, that was a bad decision. You know what I mean? Jamil, like, man, listen, it's all or nothing. You know? But like I said, salute to everybody, man. Salute to everybody. Justice for Nolan, guys. Justice for Nolan. Justice for Nolan. Justice for Nolan. Justice for Carmelo Anthony. We not gonna stop. Yeah, you said boys on the boat partying hard, but look how they trying to make it like Nolan was on there getting tore up all by himself. That he was partying hard all by himself. He was the drug supplier, the drug user, the alcohol. These are the lies that they trying to say about him, and nobody else was getting tore up, but him. It's crazy. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on TikTok. Follow me on Facebook. Continue to follow me on here. Shout out to all of y'all. Shout out to all my members in the building and everybody that's just in the house, man. Salute, you know, at the lounge. Beautiful. Thank you for the blue hearts, sweetheart. You know what I mean? Salute to all of y'all, man. I'm going to keep y'all posted whenever I get some new information. Justice for Nolan and Carmelo Anthony.